Solomon is one of the persons living with Down syndrome. He understands what the condition is and says he lives with hope for a better future, even in the face of constant discrimination.
Down syndrome is not people in extra chromosome.
Today is March 21st. It is World Down Syndrome Day. Down syndrome is a genetic disorder caused when abnormal cell divisions result in extra genetic material from the chromosome 21, usually an extra copy. According to the United Nations, this year's theme is Leave No One Behind.
That in all things, nobody should be left behind. All children that are disabled should be included, they should be integrated into the society. Everyone should show them love.
Joseph Oba is a 64-year-old father of a person living with Down syndrome. He emotionally recounts the lows of fathering a person living with Down syndrome.
We felt he was retarded and that with time he would develop and become normal. We were not thinking of Down syndrome or anything. But when we discovered, we started reading up, reading books, finding out from the internet what it's all about. It was not anything anybody would wish for himself. I won't even wish it for any other person. But since I'm in that position, I have to accept it. Some people will say, what's wrong with him? Is he blind? Because he will be stepping without even looking at where he's going. But he sees. So it's, yes, a culture shock, yes, but then, like I said, I am now an advocate for them. I try to explain to my relations. You don't hide them. When my friends are around, I bring him out and say, this is Megzi, So he's a friend to most of my friends.
Another father says he was advised to kill his 3-year-old Down syndrome daughter at birth.
Even it began from my church. Number one, when we gave birth to her, nobody knows about it because we can't tell people then because the way they are looking at us. But after 6 months, we resumed back to the church. The next thing that we discovered that people draw back away from us. That's number one challenge that people would first of all do. They would say these are the children of the imbecile. That Yoruba used to say that
Some advocates of persons living with disability insist that Down syndrome persons can also find true love.
Love has no color, so it depends on the interaction. If it's inclusive, if the education is inclusive, and if we get to interact with them, we'll know that some people will fall in love with them. They have not committed any crime. They are just special children from God.
With scores of children in Nigeria living with Down syndrome, the call at this meeting is to ensure that adequate love and attention is being channeled towards persons living with Down syndrome. From Lagos, Mary Chinda reporting for PlusTVAfrica.